Hello and welcome to the stock market analysis. Now, is Nvidia about to break out higher? There are some signs that it wants to reverse and go back up and maybe even break 1,000. So what are some of these signs? Now, before that, let's take a look at some of the reasons why it go up and why it is corrected. So after the break of the ascending triangle here, the stock break out higher. We have a bullish cross and then ascending triangle where it is above the 20 MA and rising 50 MA and rising 200 MA. So always remember, when there is a continuation pattern, there's a highly likelihood that it can break out higher. And you can see the stock actually went up higher from a double top here, corrected below the 20 MA and 50 MA, and thus the selling pressure. Now at this moment, the stock has broken above downtrend line here. We have a correction here. It has broken above this downtrend line. Now it is very important because, number one, the break of a downtrend line signals a change of trend from bearish to bullish, and the stock has gone back above the 20 MA and 50 MA. I do still want the 20 MA to be above the 50 MA. This shows strength, but bearish momentum is slowly changing to bullish momentum, and that is something that is good. The stock actually found support at this area. All right, this is the demand zone. There's a gap, and actually the stock found support at this demand area, had a bullish hairline and then climb up higher. Now let's switch to the 2-hour chart so that you can see things a bit clearer. Now the stock actually broke above, I would say, a kind of triangle pattern, if you will. Right, let's go to the hourly chart so that you can see it clearer. And let me just remove some drawings so that things are clearer. Alright, the stock actually made a higher low, and we can actually draw a flat top here. So this looks like an ascending triangle pattern, higher low, same highs. And if the stock continues to break out, it's actually breaking out of a 60-minute ascending triangle, and the good thing is it has also broken above the 200 MA, so that is something very good. And the other thing is the stock might be forming some kind of a variation of a reverse head and shoulder. Here this left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So this kind of a variation of a reverse head and shoulder, and if that materializes, you might see the stock moving higher. Now the other thing is, if we go to the weekly chart, we might see that this stock actually had a bullish haramai in the weekly chart, a large red candle followed by a green candle within the confinements of this red candle. So this is a bullish reversal pattern, and then we have a weekly bottoming tail. This bottoming tail is actually very helpful because it tells us that the market doesn't want the stock to go lower. The stock is rejecting to go lower. Throughout the week, it went down but only closed higher. So normally I would use this bottoming tail, a weekly bottoming tail, as a referral area. Next week, if Nvidia breaks above the top of this bottoming tail, there's a very high likelihood it can move higher. If it breaks below this low of the bottoming tail, we know there's weakness and the stock might move lower. But a weekly bottoming tail usually tells us a rejection of lower prices, which means it's bullish, and the stock has been staying above the rising 20 MA in the weekly chart, so this is a very good continuation pattern. And we might have some kind of a weekly flag, if you will. So if it breaks above this highs of this bottoming tail, we might see that happen, especially with the stock so near the rising weekly 20 MA. The 50 MA is rising in the weekly chart. The weekly chart's 200 MA is also rising, which points to bullishness in the longer term. Now, let's switch to and have a look at the seasonality of Nvidia. It's interesting sometimes to look at seasonality because it does help. So we have seasonality from 2020 to 2024. In May, there's a 100% chance in the past 4 years that it closed higher with an average gain of 13.9%. June, July, August are great months also, with 75% chance of it closing higher than it opened, with average gain of 5.8% in June, 9.9% in July, and 7.4% in August. So if we started the week, let's go to the daily chart. We started the month of May here. So if it's 100% chance that it closes higher in May, and if our stock opens here in May, and if seasonality in history repeats itself, then we have a high possibility that it will close higher than the open here. So we have seasonality on our side. Things are changing. What you really want to see is for the stock not drop below here. So things are looking great and turning from bearish to bullish for Nvidia, and you might want to take a careful look at Nvidia and see how you can position yourself. So back to the weekly chart, back to the hourly chart. We always want to see the stock not drop below this uptrend line. Alright, so if next week it trades, and let's say it trades here and eventually breaks out and stay above this uptrend line, most likely it's going to go higher. Alright, and you also must remember this bottoming tail, right? Bottoming tails are very good gauge of how bullish or bearish the stock is. If it trades above the bottoming tail, then you're going to be fine. If it goes below the bottoming tail, then, well, of course, more correction down here. But with the bullish hairline and bottoming tail, I think most likely it's maybe going to break out higher. So I hope this analysis is helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one.